Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. So Bitcoin got that bounce to the upside. What were we saying yesterday? I believe I have it circled where we were looking at it. Let's go back to that real quick. Oh, first, before we do that, at the point of control of this range that we've been in since December 6th, this little up and down hoodad from the 886 down to the 706 down to the 65 and 618, bounce off the 618, bing, and this diagonal pitch fan that we've had price in for over a year now. It's been respecting all of these nice levels of the pitch fan. So what is going to happen next for Bitcoin at this point of control? Are we getting at the 706 and getting access granted to the upside, or access denied and dumped back down to the 65 and the 618? At this point of control, the next range, the high volume area, would be up to this region at 43,661. Let's go take a look at our chart here from yesterday and go into the weeds to show you where we left off, if you watched us yesterday. So yesterday we were back here where this little dot on our screen. We got to go to the 5-minute time frame, and we'll show you the power of Momentum Master where we left off. All right, so we were on the 5-minute time frame, and right about here. All right, so here was where we gave the analysis and said upside, and we were pointing for the upside to begin. And we talked about that hidden bullish divergence on the money flow for Momentum Master. What does that look like? Well, let's just go ahead and show you, shall we? Okay. So we are seeing the cross-up event of this baseline, something we talk about all the time, and we were in this trap range where they were inducing shorts here to squeeze, and they squeezed the shorts, and we watched it cascade on a 15. So we're gonna go after the stream. It played out a little bit. Holding the super trend, and if you go to the 15-minute, how would you have been able to play this? Well, the 15-minute broke the bearish super trend, and the cloud was shifting to the upside, which is what we were talking about. And it came back down to the cloud, got the cloud kiss confirmation, held the cloud, and boom! Then we were off to the races. And that cloud kiss was what she wrote. And we also held the super trend in the cloud for the second kiss. And we are up to this level currently. So if you had taken that idea, you would be up cool 2.61% from last night's stream. And now we're rejecting off the math, because the math is the math. And that's one of the 3 pillars of trading. You got the liquidity, the math, and the momentum. Those are the 3 pillars of trading. That's all you need. You don't need patterns. The patterns are tertiary to those 3. Okay, so let's go into the liquidity first, shall we? What is the liquidity? Well, people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burned to crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss, and we get to see where those crispy characters are. So let's do it now. First, starting off in the last 1 hour, we had a 500K long, top longer guy get liquidated. He needs to learn how to trade. I don't know why you're doing that much. Must be some Saudi that has a lot of money from their dad or something. Going to the 24-hour time frame, we have 23 million in shorts that got liquidated. You can tell because it's red. The red shorts got liquidated. We also see the total here in the last 24 hours, shorts, 19 million squeezed, and 3 million longs.
Fatality.
And yeah, let's just go back to the heat map here and see what the heat map looks like. Getting a little bit of a squeeze to those upside players. We still have some more to squeeze up above, but let's go ahead and look at that on the 6 month. So we could still go up to 44K. There's 1.6 billion up in that region to grab on the 6 month time frame. Let's go ahead and see what's in this immediate vicinity right now. We're retracing into the hours of the morning close, so like we could get these premature people down to that high volume area at 41,666, $305 million at 41,666. The imbalance to the downside here. Let's go ahead and say 41,666. Let's mark it off. 41,666. Close enough. So this is the bullish trend based fib level that we need to hold if more upside is going to occur. So if we do wick down and grab the liquidity here, we would have to close up with a candle closing on a higher time frame above this level for us to be projecting into this region. This puts you in the confluence region of some pools from before up here at 44.4, ultimately having some confluence up in the 44-45K range, but that's a ways away from here. So let's just take a look how things are now. Okay, this is just based on this impulse retrace idea, telling you where it wants to go in the immediate. If we go, that's the strongest impulse and the strongest retrace. So that's what I'm using here, treating this as a single impulse. Why? Because if we go to a higher time frame like the 4, then you will see that those are all one impulse, and this is a retrace. So a 4-hour impulse retrace idea for your trend-based fibs. All right, so let's see what everyone's up to. Yo. Yes, I'm much better now. Not sick anymore. COVID knocked me the F out. Thank you, Stephen. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. 6-hour time frame. Well, first we're gonna start from our daily departure from the first. We have to go to the weekly. The weekly candle close just around the corner. We have a bullish wick here. If we measure the wick, let's go to a free chart. One way to measure the bullish intention of the wick, take a fib and go from the direction it went, which is from bottom to top. If the body is closing between the 382 and above, it is objectively bullish. Not my opinion. This is what candle theory is about. If it's above the 382 level, it is a bullish weekly close. So if it may stay in this range to keep it up, or it could just close like that. I mean, even if it closed right now, that would be a bullish candle for insinuating weekly upside, possibly recovering the wicks up here on the weekly time frame or somewhere thereabouts. We do have some levels within here to think about. We could be, see, this was the objectively bearish one. You have it closed beneath the 382, and that gave us some downside. So the same thing occurs, and this can give us some upside. These are some candle insights from yours truly. And if you take this and just put a regular fib on it, basic fibs, then we could even come up to that 47,372 region at a maximum for a possible double top scenario if everything is super bullish. But if you're not even looking at it super bullish and just want to come up to the equilibrium level, then you have the equilibrium retrace level at 45K. Potentially speaking. Alright, so let's go back to the charts and throw on our oscillator and see what's up. Link in the description for more. MomentumMaster.info. Scroll down to features, toggle everything at your leisure to see Bitcoin at its ultimate bottom before we knew it was a bottom, because of our rocket ships here on the stochastic array and the trend cloud baselines and the dynamic alerts to your phone. All sorts of cool components to keep you plugged in and ready to go. So let's go ahead and start the journey through the time frames as we approach that weekly candle close, which is looking to be objectively bullish for the week. Okay, all right, so turning this on. Boop boop boop. So ultimately on the 3-day you had some kind of manipulation, liquidity grab, triangles here for the market maker trap by the fury that was run here. And if we see what's going on here, you had some bearish divergence on the money flow started to play out. We're getting some momentum on the stochastic here on the daily. The rising sun event on the daily time frame Williams is starting to play out here. This is back tested and smooth by yours truly to show where key ideas would come with these rising sun events. The daily time frame rising sun we had before, noteworthy back here September 11th, and boom, rest was history. So this rising sun event could be pushing us up in a manner here. The stochastic RSI gets gassed pretty quickly, so you can't use that, so you need to look to the Williams for your second momentum oscillator. Larry Williams, the #1 futures trader in the world, and yet the guy who worships him swears off indicators. Can't get that disconnect from him, but I guess he wants to be the megalomaniac that everyone worships, I guess, rather than giving credit where credit is due. Shout out to Larry Williams with the Williams oscillator down below here. All right, so here we have the daily time frame also bouncing off of this adaptive moving average. The adaptive is your key support and resistance flip level area, so we flip this daily to support and kiss the adaptive here, and yeah, you're getting a keystone symbol here showing a flip potential on the daily, and also getting a cross-up event of the baseline. So this is pretty bullish. A lot of bullish insinuations here. Now if you come up to this 43.6 zone, something to look out for is this cloud. Possibly, is it a bearish kiss to the cloud? Everyone is super bullish, but that could also be grounds to wreck people as they get bullish again. If we go to our here, where our greed and fear and greed is neutral, 54, so we're not at a super greed or fear level, so we still have some room to go up. A lot of news next week. Please be abreast to the news. Maybe not the news, but the earnings. Sorry, there's a lot of earnings next week. We have basically Microsoft sharing their earnings and Amazon, Apple, Meta on Thursday. So expect the NASDAQ and the indices to move like wildfire, and that might steal the thunder away from Bitcoin. So maybe you do get a little bit of a retracement or something holding the range here into the week and getting late longers wrecked. So if you're in down here, you're smooth sailing, but if you're thinking to get in, might be careful trying to long up in this region. All right, and we're coming up here on the money flow on the daily is a little bit gassed. And if we go to the 22 also had that Williams cross-up event and the baseline cross-up event as well. 22 hour doing nicely. if you come, ooh, the money flow on the 22 suggestive of this still coming higher into the daily close. We'll see toward how this on the weekly close this changes, but this looks like there could be a burst of money, inflow of money on the 22. You're bursting up above the cloud here too, which is interesting. You flip the super trend on your side and going to the 12. The 12-hour. So the 12-hour time frame got above this resistance range of this inducement stop hunt drop zone, and now we're back above the 12-hour cloud too. So we're trying to flip the cloud here on the 12-hour. This is extremely bullish looking right now, but don't quote me on that. I'm just saying what I've seen happen in the past when we came up above the cloud so fast. And we're above the adaptive on the 12-hour, and we're flirting with the idea of flipping the super trend on the 12-hour. We got 10 hours for this to close, so this is closing with the weekly candle close. All right, we're getting a 12 pause point, so we could see a few candles, or we break right through this. It all depends on how strong this candle will be in 10 hours time. 12-hour also has a lot of gas on the money flow, and the RSI still primed to go. The stochastic RSI pinned to the ceiling, which is why it is unreliable in this facet, which is why you turn to the Williams. Looking below for the Williams oscillator, the #1 futures trader in the world. That's why I use it. And 6 hour time frame. Alright, so the 6 hour cloud also flipping bullish and getting thin. This cloud starting to thin. We saw the 4 hour here and we burst above the 4, and now the 6 hour starting to thin. Okay, and the 6 hour money flow came back above the RSI. We were talking about this disparity, how this disparity insinuates bullishness, and boom, the money flow flows back in as it likes to do. Coming to the 4 hour. 4 hour. Getting a cross down potential flip here, but this is not to be worrisome just yet. Needs to close in 2 hours 10 minutes, and even if it does close, you can flip it back up as you are having the range high blues right here as it pauses at the 6.5 and the 706 region. So if we come up, let me just take this off really quick. So with the 4 hour time frame getting a little bit of a pause here with the price below the baselines with a cross down flash of the baselines, are we going to see a retrace into this 236 area? That was the thing we first started out talking about, coming down to these 313 million at 41.65-ish, this zone here. Okay, so the potential is there. So do not be playing the breakout trader game. If you are watching, just be careful. There might be an opportunity to long the 236 if we are going to have a bullish push up to 43.6. We will see. The weighted moving average holding nicely here, and we flipped the adaptive too on the 4 hour. Oscillator Williams getting pushed to the sky. Money flow coming above the RSI, suggestive of a little pullback on the money flow. They could try to absorb some of the late longers here, give an inducement pattern trapped. Like put some bull flag that some YouTuber will project some upside on and then get their audience trapped with some FOMO FOMO blues and then take them down. We did have 7 time frames overbought. This is what this 7 indicates on Momentum Master. 7 time frames overbought. That's a lot of indicators. This is the stochastic array, by the way. 32 different pieces of information it's looking at across 7 time frames. So we did wick into that 6.5 level of the bullish trend-based fib. We could come back a little bit lower on the hourly time frame. The hourly time frame cross down event has locked in as well. So coming back down to these key levels, the 236 and the super trend and the cloud and the adaptive here on the hourly. Let's go ahead and look at a toss and see what type of stuff we're looking at. Who's buying, who's selling, what's actually happening inside the candles here. So let's go ahead and change the template to an advanced one and take a look inside. So you're getting some people buying, aggressive buyers coming in. Most likely you got some aggressive buy here, 200 Bitcoin down below, a negative 569 delta. So they stopped out a lot of people beneath VWAP here when it dipped back down, but you had some aggressive buyers. They're rewarding the buyers, so the buyers are definitely in control, but they are definitely retracing into some people who are trying to, the people who are forcibly selling in here are the people that are longing these breakouts. So they're using those people to buy, that are buying up here aggressively. They're either stopping out the shorts with their buy stops so they're having the buy stops of the short sellers up here, or they're trapped longs that they're trying to test their fervor on by coming lower here. So the people that are buying, there's some seller absorption potentially coming in. We watched that seller absorption yesterday down here turn into that bullish divergence. You can see all these sells down here at 42K. We had like 700, 1,000 delta that was absorbed and quickly came back up above and rewarded the buyers some more on. I'll make this a little bit bigger. All right, so yeah, 262. So all of these negative deltas that we're coming back into are basically being absorbed by passive buyers. Let's go ahead and throw this back to the, no. Okay. So the previous VWAP at 41,789 as well, so we could come test this previous VWAP. We're currently rejecting the current VWAP at 42,433, so we could be coming down to some volume nodes here. We got some volume at that range at the value area low at 42K. Previous day VWAP, anchored VWAP at 41,789. And the delta kind of falling low, kind of recovering some of the aggressive buys. The breakout trader folks. Okay. Yeah, when I make it big, that's what causes it to screw up. That's why I keep it small, so I can't go back to that anymore today. So they're getting aggressively bought back right now. So the buyers are definitely in control. There is some FOMO going on. Let's go ahead and look at the liquidations on ML application. Go into the nitty-gritty here. So there's a lot of 100xers. They're trying to hold the line to give it a trap. They're setting a trap, a lure, if you will, to the breakout traders that are watching all the YouTubers update their streams and with big audiences, and they're like, we're going to 50K, and they're hyping them up and doing Family Guy impressions and all this fun stuff. So they're getting their audience all hyped up and getting them to enter long right now, and then they're gonna go sweep them up all the way down to here, and then it'll probably rip off of that. Okay. So it looks like there are more shorts that are going to get stopped, and then there's passive buy orders of whales that are keeping it up right here, but only to induce people that are drawing patterns on their charts. So the newbie retail people are like, and then there's a 78.6% pattern, blah, 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 blah. And then everyone will go, yeah, it's going to the upside, and then we get ourselves a little bull flag that you can come over here and do this, and then blah blah blah, we're going to 43,350, yeah, and then like it'll just go bonk, and then it'll go up to there. So that's why I do not use patterns. Been through there, been there, done that. See how fake it is, just like the suit and tie people who promote it. All right, so let's go ahead and see if this goes down to these levels. It looks like the liquidity is primed for the picking, for it to come down and go into the pre-market. So it looks like it will come down to here. And then possibly bounce up. Okay. And that is the liquidity of ML applications. If you're wondering what this indicator is, you can put it on your charts too, free of charge. Liquidation levels by ML applications. Set threshold to 0.1 for every 100K trader. Go to a 5-minute or 15-minute and below. Don't do it above 15 minutes or it will not populate a reasonable number of trades. It will be false. Okay. Make sure it's on this low one. You will see which side has more, and at least for coming into the 100xers, it should come down and gobble up these 100xers down to 42K. That's high probability to come grab these guys. It's also creating inducement traps right here by these up arrows. Does it hold? Sometimes it does, but look at the last inducement trap it had. It had an inducement trap, and then bang, and then it went up. So we'll see. Sometimes they reward the 100xers that are like in overabundance. It really depends on their higher time frame target and how easily they want to let them out or not. All right, so you got the 15-minute possibly wanting to break out here, so everyone's seeing the low stochastic and they want to take it higher. But if you look at the liquidity, it's a little bit imbalanced here, so coming back down into some of this might be reasonable to think. If they want to give the scenario of bullishness, yeah, holding this 236 is key though, as we talked about 41,914 and this super trend. So if you do sweep all the way down to here, you'd have to close out some higher time frame candles above that level. Once again, you got that cross down event of the hourly and the 4-hour flash that closes in 2 hours. We did a thorough market analysis yesterday, so I'm not going to do that today. Just a BTC update for me, because I'll be on in the morning anyway, so about 12 hours time. I'll take any questions you may have, and then we'll... Oh, you didn't like the pot shots I took on somebody who shall not be named? Can this be your voice all the time? I was vibing with that. Oh, the old dude. yeah. So if it comes down to the market maker, if I were, I would take it down, create like, kind of overtone of like a head and shoulders pattern here too. So it's going to create like a bull flag, get all the people like hyped for the weekly candle close to be bullish, which it may be, but then come down, stop everyone out, and then be bullish perhaps. So you can get something like boop, 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 and then it's just gonna go psych, because patterns aren't real. All right, so if you just do, let's just take a look. That would be down at 41.6. So we're gonna go to a fresh chart. I want to see that one chart that I was looking at with the fibs and whatnot when I was going over. Yeah. So if it comes down to the 41.6, yeah, that 236 here. So you gotta have the weekly close. Where's the weekly? There we go. We gotta have the weekly. So even if the weekly kind of comes back, like let's just say the weekly comes back down to this indecision thing just before the close and then starts to come back up. So it comes down beneath the 236 and everything, and then it starts to make its way up. You have a lot of leeway to play with before the end of these 9 hours and 56 minutes. So we could come all the way down here, I would say to that 41.6 region, and then still come out and close strong. So be weary longing right now. This is where they're gonna kind of play with the FOMO people. But an opportunity may present yourselves in Asia sleeping time, pre-market, like 5 a.m. or something my time, in about, I want to say like 8 hours, is it? Yeah, 6 hours. 6 hours from now. So you may be able to come down to there and then grab that discount region. All right, let's see. Back to the charts. Yeah, I was out of commission all week, so I'm kind of like feeling back in the saddle again. So I'm feeling good. Good. Good as can be. I was like, where's my little helixes and stuff? So we're coming back above this cloud. So even if we like play around in this cloud a little bit, we're still bullishly above this adaptive. I'm definitely not shorting it, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying there might be an opportunity to get into a juicier entry for a long. Got all these momentum shifts on the clouds, the 4 hour, the 6 hour, the 12 hour. The daily one was curving, but it barely even shifted. But it's expected to, after that large retrace, it's expected to curve, but it looks like it's already starting to curve back up like this. So if we could just very well burst and continue on our way too. Okay. So any questions that you have? Yes, the old dude.
Oh, yes, I was vibing that. All right, we going to put the trend lines on the charts, and, we like the, I heard about this thing called pattern trading. You take the top trend line, and look, it rejected because patterns are real. They're real because I said so. And then you put one down like this, and look, wow, it's bullishly going back in because trend lines are real. They're real because I read them on the Googles. And Google says things that are real. And guys with suits and ties who said for $100 you can be rich like me. I paid him for his lesson, and he did a Family Guy impression, and he talked about like Mark Wahlberg, and he did all sorts of cool impressions, and I was enamored by his suit and tie. He was so charismatic. And then when I followed his advice and got stopped out, he said I was wrong. So I guess I was, because I like being talked down to and gaslit. Because I don't have high self-esteem. I need to have somebody I idol worship.
All right, shots fired, but it's true. And all the gurus can get the ball sack, because there's no such thing. False idols should all be destroyed. Okay, so getting a lot of stop hunts going on. That's hitting the buy stops, hitting the buy stops. So they're trying to create these little inducement patterns, these Mario flags, to get the traders all bullish. And then they're like,
guess what, everyone? We got Sammy cupping handy to the upside. Look at this. It's a Sandy cupping handy. Wow.
And then it's gonna go and then go. And it'll be like,
yay, I called it.
And it's like, yeah, but what about that?
Just disregard it, because I like to always be right.
It's true though. It's so fucking true. He will totally deny when he's wrong and then just like dance around to the music and say like, oh wow, what's that over there? Hey McFly, your shoelace untied. He's like Biff. That's the best way analogy. He's like, well, make like a tree and get out of here. So you're getting rejection off the cloud here, bearish super trend on the 5-minute, stop hunt, triangles here, stuttering. Think of it like stuttering. It's not really stop hunt, it's just a stutter, breaking the sequence. Breaking the sequence before takeoff. This was cleaner though, holding the cloud. You see the stability here? That's why we called that 5-minute burst yesterday, but it was down here. There is more stability amongst the stop hunts, and the stop hunts it was holding, and boom, double bottom. So we're having a little bit more struggle up here after the burst up. Once again, we'll recap. Open interest is dropping a little bit here. You're getting the longs not stepping up to the plates. A little bit more shorts are entering here. So they got to give the shorts a little bit of a bone here. So they're probably going to give the shorts a little bit of a bone, get them a little bit bearish, but also keep the bullish sentiment up for the bulls, and then rip it after. This would be about 1, 2, 3. Let's just say 325. Once again, putting the liquidation levels. You have just more 100xers here. And if you look here, there is more just waiting to be grabbed down in here, all the way down to that 41.63, that we were talking about, that spike of leverage there. let's just go into the 12-hour here. You do have some $12 million at 41,956, 41,862, 11 million. So coming down to these regions before takeoff, in my humble opinion. All right. Handle is long on stream. Oh, nice. Whose handle? Oh, Sammy Cup and dumped the shit out of it. Yeah, I mean, he's he's a piece of work. Piece of work. And there's nothing worse than using, you know, religion to kind of indoctrinate people too. And he's duped himself, though. He probably sniffs his own farts and loves it, you know. All right, so yeah, we're at the bottom of the sequence here. You could come down like 4 more candles. Cross down event of the baselines. Once again, I'm not shorting this. I'm just saying they could stop hunt a lot of longs right here, give them that impression that we went over, and then go rip them down a little bit, and then go up. Targets 43.6, 44.4. These are the key levels of resistance, 44K. There's a range over here, a lot of bearish resistance. I'm not going to use those smart money terms because it's all support and resistance. Supply and demand's been around a lot longer than smart money concepts. All right. So that is about it. We can take a request or two and then we'll be on our way. Key levels already initiated. Hourly adaptive level down here, 42,111. Frugally, I mean, you could come down to this 236. You don't have to. This is just a measure of bullishness, like lying in the sand type stuff. But ideally, in a nutshell, what we're looking for is a little bit of a retrace and then a bounce to the upside. Bullishly biased with a short pullback right now on the hourly time frame. Hourly has reset the stochastic too. Are they going to reward the buyers here, right now? If you're in a long, by all means, you know, just move your stops into one of these key level areas if you're so inclined, and then just watch with popcorn. You're chilling. I'm just not the type to buy right here. We're getting a 15-minute cross up event. Does it just rip off this 15-minute cross? This 15-minute cross versus the hourly cross down. Let's go ahead and turn this on. Watch what's going on here. So we're about even Steven on the leverage when I updated this from here. And that 41,666 spike changed a little bit. We still have more to the downside in this larger time frame. Let's go ahead to the week at least coming to that 42K at some point. Looks like a spike could hit that. All right, let's see if you had any requests. Still long from 39,660. Nice. We're looking to hedge. Hello, could we look at JTO? What's up, CNC? So we're gonna look at, whoops, JTO. What the heck is that? Let's find out. Let's first take everything off really quick and just look at this bad boy in its own thing. Huh, looks like it's relatively new, and it started out December 7th, went up, came down, bounced a little bit, but slowly came back to like what? Came back to the 706 and then came up to the 0.5. Okay. So you're kind of like in a range here on the daily time frame. All right, and then if you go to the 12 hour, if we do something like this, I want to just see what the volume looks like. All right, so you're at a point of control. There's a point of control there, and there's a point of control over here. Okay, so if you can get above some of these points of controls for JTO, this one here at, what is this? Where are we at? $2.09. So if you break above this $2.09 region, you're breaking, there's not much volume up in here to take you all the way to the point of control up in this region here at $2.62. And let's go see if the math lines up with that. So we had an impulse retrace here with the fibs, so we'll do this here, impulse retrace. 236 is your guide here at $2.12, and then take profit at the 1382 is like a confluence with the point of control idea, and that would be a, whoop, how much percent would that be? 28%. It's pretty cool. Let's go see what the momentum has to offer. You are also getting above the 6 hour cloud, which is nice. I don't even know what this thing is, but looks good to me. I mean, you got above the cloud. When you have resistance on the cloud, you get above it, boom, you get up here. So we're coming back above the 6 hour cloud and the point of control here, saying that you could go up further. Not financial advice, but you do have this cross up event of the 6 hour time frame. If we go to the 4 is giving some bearish insinuation here, and you're not yet above the 236. That's why I said the 236 is your guide. Until you can get above that, there is no bullish confirmation, and that is ironically above the point of control, so that would make sense. You get above that point of control, boom, whip, and you're gone. So we'll just put that there at the point of control. Okay. So you got a cross down event of the 4 hour, and yeah, it's just connected at the hip to Bitcoin right now. So it could come down and kiss this cloud on the 4 hour time frame. The 4 hour time frame cloud is here. So you could be doing like Bitcoin coming down and then you go up. Stop hunting the FOMO people and then you could scale in if you use a little retracement on this impulse here, and then you change this to a pocket. The 618 lines up quite nicely at the $1.97 mark. So if you are waiting for an entry model, then there you go. In that case, this would change too. I would move this down to wherever things, and then my 236 would also change, as would my targets. But as of this moment in time, this is what the targets and the 236 confirmation is. But just point of control, you need to close candles above it for bullishness, basically. And then from that point, you have smooth sailing for the most part, ideally up to that level. But I know nothing, and I don't know what this coin is about, so I might just be throwing specks of dust into the wind. Who knows? Hopefully that was helpful. Yeah, let's check it out. Boom. JTO. What is JTO? You know, Cluve? I have no idea. Anyway, so let's go back. We'll check it out tomorrow anyway. We'll see if it played out. So, ETC getting a little bit of a bounce here. The 15-minute and the 5-minute. If it comes up to here though, there's no unlonging. Basically the shorts opening up is causing a little bit of a bounce. There's no unlonging it though. The open interest in the shorts is what's causing the shorts to get squeezed a little bit. They don't want to pay the shorts. So they're trying to take out a bunch of these guys before they get this, by the looks of it. Squeezing the shorts some more. This cross-up event of the 15 being the play perhaps today. Oh, also one cool thing to check out for seeing some liquidations is you can use v3.aggr.trade. It is an aggregated 19 exchange thing, and it will show liquidations down bottom right, and it will also show them in color down here, so you can see even down on a 10-second chart, so you can see who's getting liquidated. These are some purple liquidations, are the bears, so there's some bears getting squeezed right now. It doesn't show you the liquidations unless you set the threshold to a certain level. But one site you can look at it for free also is YouTube. You do liquidation watch in here, and this will show you who's getting taken out. So far, no one is getting knocked out of the bears just yet. This could just be a stop hunt before it continues lower, like a B, C kind of deal. The cloud is kind of shifting on the 15, so we'll see. Don't buy tops, and don't buy things that look like Mario flags. For the most part, they are traps. Okay, especially people getting bullish now, like there might be a little bit of a stop hunt before it goes up. Just be patient. We are getting that cross-up event, but if you can't get the candle to close with conviction, what is it? And it needs to get above that halfway point here. It's a 618 rejection, possibly coming to the deviation of the 618 there. The math is the math. You never know. Gotta be one step ahead of the retail. They're all just another asset to me. Yep. All right. Well, that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Whoa. So, like, seeing it kind of come down. We have an extreme level down there for that sweep at that idea down here at that 41.6. Doesn't look as... Basically 42K, and getting some of these, like, blips off the radar and then possibly going higher. You have the higher time frame. Billions up in here, basically at 44K. $44K, 1.66 billion up there, 1.36 at 43.6. So a couple billion to come take out on the larger time frame, getting those shorts squeezed out as they absorb sellers. So let's go see how much more liquidation they're getting induced here. How many more of these breakout traders are they inducing in right now? Ooh, juicy number. Do they come down and grab them? I don't know. You tell me. And that is basically my story, and I'm sticking to it, folks. That's all she wrote. If you have anything else to ask, now is the last opportunity. All right. Guess not. Well, we will see you for the weekly candle close in about, I don't know, 10 hours time or so. We'll see. Got to take my son to school, and then I will be available, and hopefully same energy levels. So thank you for coming on into live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share, an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision,